everybody. Welcome to another weekly Wednesday haul. Sorry that it took me a couple of minutes. My OBS software decided to crap out on me as soon as I went live, so I had to shut that down and get that working again. One day we'll have less flaws and issues with everything, right? At least this time I have video, audio, and I'm live, and we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. So I went through a couple different places. So I got an order from Goodwill because it's so tempting just to bid on all of their stuff. And then I did get to go to two different little estate sales this previous weekend. So it's now estate sale season, and I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing a couple more this coming up weekend. And then, of course, I did the Goodwill. Or not the Goodwill, the red, white, and blue. Which I have red, white, and blue on. That works for me. Yeah, the only other thing that's kind of exciting is that I finally got in a new light box, and on Instagram, not only have I been posting, but I've been fairly consistent, and I now have more followers than people I'm following, and I'm past 150, so let's keep our fingers crossed that that keeps going well. Yeah, let's dive into it. I actually didn't get a whole lot of stuff, at least jewelry-ish wise. But let's take a look at it and we'll get rocking and rolling here. So this was the first necklace that I ended up finding. So the reason why I actually got this one, and I'll show you on the Swan Little Me there. And this is just like really deep, almost black wood, with a little bit of a lighter one in between. But what I'm going to actually do with that guy is make them into little tiny garden sticks so that you can, or plant sticks, so that you can put this into your little plant and then just like tie some twine around your plant and the stick, and it'll keep it from falling on over. So I'm happy that I got to make some of them and it ended up working, and that's what I'm going to do with that. So hopefully I have enough beads and everything else and that they're big enough. It's really hard to find beads that actually are wide enough so that it'll fit on the sticks, but I tried to find some, and that's how that necklace ended up coming home with me. The next necklace that I got is this one right up here, and it is absolutely this vibrant in real life. Now I am actually going to throw it up onto this large camera. Look at that guy. So this one has, I absolutely love this texture that it has. It's almost this like extreme like teal aqua metallic. It's just so bright in real life. So I was really happy that I found these beads, and they look absolutely gorgeous. They're so bright that they're making my hands look blue as well. A really cool find. I'm really glad that I got this guy, and he was only $1. And for $1, how can you pass that guy up? You just can't. I have two more necklaces, and then we are done with the necklace portion of the show, which is fast for us. So this one was another one. So if you see, it has these individual faceted beads that are on these like wires, and it's all in this central one. This is going to take me a good minute, I think, to try and get everything out. However, I think that I can use these too because they have, the way that these are wrapped around the wire that's then wrapped around the chain is this little like hole. It's like a metal wrap? I don't know. It almost kind of looks like a keychain ring. But so I can get these guys and I can squeeze them on to the little tiny sticks. And I'm hoping that this will add a little bit of pizzazz to it, which I'm hopeful about. I would like to possibly have enough items to go to a farmer's market soon and actually start displaying some of my stuff and trying to sell some of my stuff. And I wanted to get some easier things that are kind of fun and interactive, and also staying at a pretty nice price point, because I know that if I'm selling candles and depending on everything else, those aren't going to be so cheap. So I am wanting to like get a few things that are cheap. So like those are sticks that material wise, it only cost me like 20 to 30 cents to make. And then I just hot glue some of it, and it takes like maybe like 10 minutes to do like 5 of them. And I can sell them for $1 each. So that should hopefully work well. The only other necklace I got, and this is actually for my normal connection charm beading and everything else. So this one is not meant to be going on over there. Although, so same with the blue one. The blue one's not going over. I got this giant necklace. Now he was originally $2.99, but I got him on sale for $1.50, which isn't too bad. Now here we have this giant gorgeous little pearl that are, they almost look like nuggets. And then we have some really nice mother of pearl long ones. And then we have what honestly looks like polished stone, which is right here. And then I think these might just be generic plastic beads with a little bit of beads attached to the end. So this is going to have an absolute like giant amount of beads that I'm getting from it. And I thought that they were just really, really pretty. And I will show you on top of the Swan Little Me really quick. So you can kind of see just all of those different layers of this necklace. So these are really pretty pink ones. And then I already showed you quite a bit. They also have some nice, really square ones. I kind of like the way that this metal aged, actually. Although these are definitely going to be too small for me to actually use them on my other stuff. Oh, that's interesting. This has almost like a opalescent shiny stone that's right on top of this. Huh, that's kind of cool. So that is it for the necklace portion. I do have some pins, and I think that I may be getting a little bit obsessed with pins. Whenever I look at how much my haul is actually pins and how much I like pins, I think I am growing like an obsession. That being said, let me start you off with some of the pins that we got. This one was one that I actually saw there last week, and I decided not to get because it wasn't on sale. So I waited until it was on sale, and guess what? I got it on sale. So this, and I'll show you under the document camera now, because it is not doing us any goods up there. It's very shiny, which makes it hard to get it to focus. There we go. Okay, it may have taken us forever to actually get a good shot of it, but if you can see, it's a little Snow White and the 7 Doors little like stamp that's made into a pin. And I thought it was just really cute, especially because I've had so many people who called me Snow White. And of course that was my favorite princess because I thought she looked like me. So I thought he was really super cute and I was happy with him. And then I got this little guy, which I thought was really cute. It's a little artist palette, and they actually have, it looks like, so they did the whole metal piece, and it almost looks like they put like clay in it. It's a really interesting texture for how they got those little paint guys on the palette, which I liked a whole lot. We'll keep the little swan guy in the background. I am going to show you, let me wait until the end for some of my favorites. So let me show you some not so much of my favorites. So we have this one that I did like. So this one is another cameo. You can kind of see her in there. It is a cameo cut into it. So it's, yeah, and then it has a lot of filigree. Plus it has an actual clasp, or not a clasp, it has a loop on the back. So you can actually turn this into a necklace as well, which I kind of like. I like whenever pins give you the option to either wear it as a pin or a pendant. So that was one of the guys that I ended up getting right there. This is just a little tiny simple rose. He came with one of the other ones, and because I was already getting the other one, this one came in the bag too. Just a little tiny rose, nothing too big of a deal. Then we have this little guy who is a really pretty like vintage rose and pearl little tiny pin. Again, these pins are like so perfect for like, if I wore button-up shirts every single day, I would wear a pin instead of a tie all the time. I think it's the classiest things. I also got this little guy, which for like a minute I had to decide if it was like balloons or if it was grapes. I do think that it's grapes, although I think that it kind of looks like fun, pretty balloons. I really liked the colors on this one, and I thought it was a little bit fun. So I was excited to get him, and I'm happy to add him to my collection. We have 2 Christmas ones, and you know how much I'm obsessed with Christmas. So this is one that I've actually seen quite a bit, and I actually thought was purchased by someone, but I found it in the racks today. So he's been waiting a long time for him to be on sale for me. So this is a really cool pin. It's pretty large, but it has this like gorgeous Christmas tree, and the way that it's done in the enamel gives it like a 3D effect. Like, I think that the tree inside is definitely 3D. And it also has a cute little option to go and turn it into a pendant on the back. So if I want to wear it as a pendant, I can wear it as a pendant. But I just thought that he was super cute. And you know me and Christmas. I will be here for Christmas all year round, guys. All year round, I'm here. This one, I actually originally thought was one of the pins that was made by... I can't think of her name right now, but the one who was doing like the local pins, it's like pins by like Lucia or something like that, but it actually isn't by her. This looks like it was actually made like production wise in a factory, which I don't mind. I still think that it's darling, but I was just surprised because it doesn't look like it's like mass manufactured and produced. But they did a really good job on it, and I thought it was really, really cute, especially the little Christmas trees. So I was really happy to find him and get him. And then this next one, I'm not sure if I'm going to consider it to be an Easter pin, only because, I mean, it does kind of have, like, it's a basket and it has spring flowers in it. However, I think that it can also just be a little garden, cute little flower pin, and I like him. So he came home with me as well, although I did have to debate about him a little bit. So he was like on the chopping block, but he didn't get chopped. So he ended up coming home with me. This next 2 were 2 that were together in one, and I absolutely love it. I don't know if I'm just counting them as Valentine's Day because I think that they're just absolutely gorgeous. So this one is this really pretty red and gold heart pin. And you can't really see, but if you actually see like underneath the enamel, it looks like it has a engraving on where the flowers would be. So like underneath this red. I'll see if I can show it to you on the swan guy. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to read. I think it says Avon. I would not be surprised if this pin was not actually Avon. And then we have this one, which I am in love with. I am. But this is the other little heart one that came in. And we are going to take a look at these on the swan guys, because there is something that I want to point out on this little guy. So you can kind of see a little bit more. It is really bright. Let me turn this down just a bit. Oh Lord, it went from being so bright to being dark as hell up in here. And then, oh yeah, that's not gonna help at all either. You can kind of see a little bit of what I was saying whenever it has that like background of flowers. It is really hard to get it to capture in camera. But so this is all of my little pin collection for the day, which I thought was really cute. Yeah, I'm really excited to have a lot of them. Have I also just expanded my pin collection because my pin storage has expanded? Why, yes, I'm glad for you for noticing that. That's all that I have one more pin, and I thought that I was going to forget about it. But so this one is another one that I saw. It looks like it says Elias Studios Hand Blown Glass. So this just says this glass pin has been individually handmade using traditional glass techniques. A bit of hot glass is rolled over chips of colored glass called frit. Once melted together in the heat of the furnace, the glass is manipulated in a variety of ways, cut from the rod and squished. It is then placed in an annealing oven to cool slowly. Each is unique with variations in patterning and surface quality, making no two pins exactly alike. So I thought that was really cute. I did like this pin too. I just thought that it was a really nice little, cute little pin. So I enjoyed him quite thoroughly. And yeah, so I am going to be doing, all of that stuff. Let's get on to the glass. We have lots of glass. I said let's get on the glass. I still have a purse to go and show you guys before the glass that I forgot about. That's over here. I got another sequins beaded purse because of course I did. And I like how ridiculous this like ending is. However, it's actually really good quality for the beads are intact everywhere, and I did like the little design. I do like how tiny and cute it is. And for $2.50, how can you say no to a purse like this? I don't think that you can, and I don't think that you ever should have to. I know that I said that I was getting onto the glass, and then I remembered that I had books, guys. I'm sorry. So this one is Dude's Crafts, and I saw it, and I kind of like craft books that kind of give you a variety of everything, only because it gives me ideas, and I like having ideas and playing around with things. However, I only found like a couple of things that I would actually try out of this, although some of it is like hilarious. Like the book begins, literally, it begins with them showing you how to make a baby flask. Literally, how to like make a flask with a baby doll so that you can walk around and pretend to have a baby, but actually it's just a flask. I thought that one was hands down ridiculous. The only one that I saw that I kind of want to try, but I'm also weary of it a little bit, only because it would involve buying the equipment to make it work and getting it to work. But it is making a coin ring. I've seen a lot of people use like the spoons to go and make into rings, but I haven't actually seen a coin ring before, which I thought was kind of interesting. I kind of liked it. Yeah, I don't know how well that would completely and totally end up, and even their example in the book doesn't look fantastic, but I thought that it was a cool idea. And that was only $2.50, which is not bad whatsoever. And then this one I got, which is Pittsburgh 1750 to 2008, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. So I just kind of liked it because it had a lot of old photos of Pittsburgh, and as I was like reading through it in the store, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and I didn't realize about that. And it is kind of cool to see your city over time. It's also just cool, like there was they have little biographies of some of the people too, and like who came from like Pittsburgh, and if they were like Olympic medals, and literally just like celebrating a lot of like individual people that I thought was really cool. And now I'm not finding the one that I wanted to, but let me show you some of it. What's a cute little one? Oh my god. Like, you can see this one right here is the point, although you can barely recognize it if it wasn't for the water rays, because it's completely and totally filled with skyscrapers, or just a little bit. I think I would say like 95%. So all of this, it's like, oh, you don't see any of the land. These are the buildings all the way up here. But I thought it was fun. It's a good little coffee read and something to kind of glance at. And again, for $2.50, what's the harm in it? I got $2.50 of enjoyment already on it, and it's a book. I would hope that I would find someone else who would like it and pass it on. So those were the books that I got for today. And that brings us to this next section, which I call the glass section. So let's get into it. Okay, let me show you the glasses that I got today. So this one was a nice little crystal glass, or at least I'm like 95% sure that it is crystal. It sounds like crystal whenever you do all of the tapping, but I am going to actually compare it with crystal that I know is crystal here and make sure that it sounds correctly, because that could be bad. Although I think it is. It really does look like it. It was 4 for $3.99, but they were 50% off, so I got 4 for $2, making each of them only 50 cents to become a little candle holder. And I thought these were pretty darn cute. The next thing that I ended up getting today, I want to show you the stuff that I got today, which is down here. Okay, so I got 2 darling little cups. Oh no! I didn't see that they were 4 for $2.99 and I only got 2 of them. Oh. So I got 2 out of the 4 that I was supposed to pick up. That's what these guys, and then I also got a little container, and then I'll tell you a little bit about these guys because they are very interesting. If you see, it has these like motifs of like a book and like a lamp, and it looks like it's a sandglass. But I looked this stuff up, and let me go and make sure. So in the 1950s, Royal China, the company, made old curiosity shop dishes, which is what this pattern is. And what they did is this pattern in particular was actually inspired by Charles Dickens' novel, The Old Curiosity Shop. So I thought that was actually really kind of cute that they did that. And hopefully these will make for excellent candles. I really do like the center one. And then someone was like, hey, they have mugs for you too. Go look at them. And I was like, okay, I will go look at them. Although apparently I only got 2 out of the 4. But I'm sure that I still had to pay for all 4 of them because they scanned the label at $2.99. I mean, you win some, you lose some, right? Okay, this one is another little Fenton. It's one of those gorgeous, what did they call this? Silver ruffles? No. Okay, I'll have to double check the name on this because I do not want to go and say the wrong name, even though this is like the very classic one that everybody sees. But I got this guy for candle making, which I think is cute. I also do like that these kind of look like a heart, even though this one is not too dramatic about it. It is also just gorgeous. I think it'll make a cute little candle. And then this is the last of the glassware that I got from Red, White, and Blue today. So this, it says Contemporary Fine China by Noritake in Japan. So these are, I actually got, it looks like a set of 6 that were $20, but of course I got it half off. And let me see and bring this out. So what I liked is that it was a teacup and plate, or saucer, I guess. And what I hope to be doing with these guys is filling these up with candles so that they'll be a cute little cup with candles, if that makes any sense. I think this will end up being a cute little candle companion. The other thing that I really liked, and I'm going to show you on the plate because it might be easier, is how gorgeous these hand-painted flowers on them are. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, these plates were actually originally made for export, which I find interesting because I did look up a little bit on the company, and they, where is it? Nope, that's not the right one. With these, it was like 1907 or like 1912 whenever they first started to export ones, and then they ended up with like a really big factory line. And I also find it interesting that it is a Japanese-based company and everything is obviously labeled with Japan, but that all of this was made to go and be shipped out, that like they didn't make China for their own country as much as they intentionally were trying to make China to be able to ship to other countries. Which I thought was an interesting business strategies for like the early 1900s. But so that is a whole set, and what I like about this hopefully is with also having multiples, hopefully we can test one and make sure it all goes well. I keep on getting really scared. The people are like, you need to be doing burn tests with all of your stuff. As soon as you have a different size container, do another burn test. And I'm like, I would have to be making 2 candles exactly the same, one to go and test, and then I'd have to take it all out and then refill it on up. So I'm going to be testing as much as I can, but some of it is going to have to be guesswork. But that's also a reason of why I like whenever there's multiples, because that means that I can at least do the entire set. And if I just test one in the set and I know that that's good, then I know that the rest of the batch is good, which is at least my current plan. And we'll see how well that works. I was all excited because I was like looking at all of the stuff about like candle making and like wick sizes and making sure that your wick is compatible with your soy candle and like all of the different like versions of it and like the different compositions, and that there are things that like some companies put into their soy wax, even though it's like 100% soy, it's not really 100% soy because it has the additives so that it settles nicer and smoother, because it tends to have like a crystally bumpy top texture with soy candles. However, that like if you don't want that and you can be okay with like the bumpiness, you can then say it is completely 100% soy. I mean, assuming that you're not adding more additives like fragrance. And I also now got soy candle wax that is completely and totally farmed in the US, and I'm excited about that. Not that, of course, I mean, clearly, a lot of these actual glassware came from places like England and France and Japan and China and India and Italy. It's nice to try and represent locally, I guess. If you're going to have a soy candle, it might as well have the soy being made in America. God, how patriotic have I become? I'm in red, white, and blue. I go to red, white, and blue to go thrifting, and now I'm trying to buy soy stuff based in the US. Okay, guys. That is all for today's glassware. I'm not done. Let's go with the Goodwill glassware. At first, I actually thought that both this and this were going to be the same manufacturer and the same company. No, not at all. So this is another set, and I love it because especially whenever you're thinking of like that vintage Depression era glass, you're not thinking of clear, you're thinking of the colored glass, which is why I ended up caving and getting these, because these are just absolutely so pretty. But these are actually from France, and they were made by a company called Verico. Now, Verico, I couldn't find a whole lot of information except like it was made in France, but Verico got bought by Duralex, and I could find a lot of information about Duralex. But yeah, so these are stamped. These did come from France, which I think is kind of cool. I like to have that moment of when things are traveling and if we can actually find an origin to where things come from. So that was that. I think there's 6 or 8 of these teacups. So again, it'll be nice that I can fill them up and then see how they burn. I also don't know how intense people who are actually purchasing the candles will be. Like, for instance, I think that like if I put the same, like these are fairly equivalent, roughly the same. I mean, this one has a wider top than this one does. I still don't know. I mean, they're not exactly the same size-wise. This one is a little bit bigger, but they taper very differently. So like I do wonder if I put the same wicks in all of them, like how the very end will end up going. But how much does it really matter all that much? I feel like these will hopefully be purchased for gifts, and then someone will be like, that's such a cute little gift, and I'll give it to someone. So this next piece is not that difficult. It is a cute little candlestick that I really like. I actually really like the bottom more, and if it wasn't for the fact that it doesn't fully rest on like a table on the top as much as it does on the, and like on the bottom it doesn't wobble, But if you rest it on the top, it wobbles, which is sad because honestly, I would use it like this if I could. I would literally just keep it like this and keep it as a little tiny tray to go and be putting things in. It is so darling. I also don't think that I'll end up using this as a candle holder, honestly. I am keeping it. But I don't like that it does have a little bit of a turn up around where the base of the candle sits. However, that's not a trap. Like, I think that candles can melt and be going everywhere. And, like, no, if I'm going to be using a candle holder like this, I want my candle holder to trap all of the wax and make it super simple for me to clean it up. I'm not trying to be doing any of this stuff. Also, I love, like, do you remember? I don't have them right now. They're downstairs. But I have these, like, gorgeous glass wick, almost like candelabras, except, like, it just holds, like, oil inside instead of candle wax. And they're so beautiful. They're so easy. They work beautifully. If it wasn't for the scents and the fact that most people like candles and that candles tend to be actually like disposable with their container, I'm surprised that the oil didn't win out and that we even still have candles. But so that was the two things that I got in one of them. I actually got one more thing from them. I also got this guy, and this guy is a Fenton, and I think they, and I could be wrong, called it like the moonstone, but I've almost seen that like moonstone of being called anytime that they have that like opalescent going down. And I will double check on all of that, but I thought that he was a darling little tiny creamer, and I do love hobnail, and he just looked so pretty. I'm keeping him for me and enjoying him quite thoroughly. So that is all done for all of that stuff, and we are very close to the end. So this, I got two different set of like little tiny wine glasses. So this one I got that's absolutely gorgeous. It has this like gorgeous structural vertical lines going up the sides that just give it a gorgeous look. Plus it is that gorgeous amber. The only downside is that like the actual rim is a little bit chipped. But what I think I might do, and I haven't decided yet, is there's a part of me that just wants to paint this top with gold. And then I think it could be pretty. And that would get rid of any of the issues with it being like a little bit jagged up top. It would kind of give it a buffer, although there is a part of me that it's like, do I really want to start painting glass? And if that gets a whole little messy, but I still like him. I got those at like a pretty good price. I think I paid like $1 for each of them when I got 3. So it's still not bad. And with them not being as large, I mean, I'm going to have the candle wax and the wick, but the wick and the candle wax isn't nearly as much because the candle wax is expensive. And so is the fragrances. The fragrances and the candle wax and the nice wicks are all pretty darn expensive. So at least this one I'll be able to recover more because I'm not using as much as the other stuff, but we will see. And that was the actual idea about these, because I think I got like 6 or 8 of these. I think I got them for like 75 cents a piece. And what I liked about this is it actually is stamped with Italy on the bottom, and I know that people like to see that and see where their glass is coming from, so I was hoping that that would help. And then again, it's one of those things where I'm hoping that the benefit of this is that it's easily portable. I don't necessarily have to give you a whole big old box to go and carry with, and that it kind of does, I don't know, I kind of like it, and I think that hopefully we can get to a good price point with these little ones. I will say that, as my boyfriend points out, what's the point of a candle if it's getting so small or other things? But of course, you're obviously getting to keep the glass afterwards. And I don't know, I kind of don't mind that entire idea because sometimes I use up my medium candles the most. I tend not to actually use the super giant ones just because it takes so long to like burn and like have everything. And like if I'm lighting a candle, I want it to at least go through the entire top and like have a good melt so that whenever you blow it out, like it looks pretty. But I don't mind this one. So we'll have to see. We'll also have to see what ends up selling and where the price points and everything else. And I mean, I'm sure that lots of stuff to do and to figure out. But I thought he would be fun. And then we have that. We got these two. So I got this guy, and I do like the ones that have lids on them. So I have been, I mean, I know, so I'm either going for drinking ware, so like the cups and the goblets and the little wine glasses, or I am trying to get containers with a lid, and I think the lid is just so nice because of course you're going to be able to open up the lid and smell it. Plus it does protect the candle having a lid more, which is nice. I got this guy, which I thought was absolutely gorgeous for this texture on top. It has like an interesting like wreath motif carved into the side that I thought was really pretty. Now this one is going to be quite a bit. I'm going to have to be careful with how I match the wick because I haven't actually... Oh, potential peanuts. Do I have a job? It's thrift rescuing is my job. I used to be a nurse, and then nursing was terrible. And I'm here doing this. But thanks for joining on in and coming in. You are coming in at the end, which is funny. I almost always end up getting people at the end. Maybe I should move my stream time, but I stream like 11:30 to 12:30 every Wednesday. This was the other one that I got that I think will end up being a pretty little candle, and of course it's... Oh, it's ending right now. I'm in the last like 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Yes, so I have one more. This book is kind of funny because I was at the estate sale and I was looking through like the books and like I saw this one and I thought two things immediately. One was that could be gorgeous for taking photos with. Like if you see how big the binding is and then if you are looking at these pages, I mean, it's kind of nice and pretty. And I was also like, this will definitely work in like any Halloween themed anything. But then I ended up looking inside of it and it's all, I guess like Catholic Bibles and everything else. And it tells you everything. Yes, I could do two things at once. Pay for what? For this book, I think I ended up paying like $2, which is kind of funny. So this is the Catholic Education is what the book is called. And it has different sections. Let me see if there was any ones that I liked. Because it had a funny one on adultery. Also in adult friendships. And all of the other ones. Of modesty of our words. That's too much. But what's funny is that there was a guy who was actually calling and asking for this book and was like, hey, have you sold it yet? And I immediately was like, nope, yep, I'm gonna get it. Like, yep. So I ended up getting that one and yeah, it was pretty good. Thank you. I do have a YouTube channel that's really hard to find that I upload my streams to afterwards, that if you want to check on, there's lots of stuff over there. It's Thrift Rescuing, but if you type in like Thrift Rescuing 420 is my last haul, although I do realize that after I named it 420 that sounds like weed, but hey, it was last Wednesday, so... Thank you for stopping on by. I hope you subscribe. And thank you. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you next time.